This demonstration walks through the process of setting up VPN remote access for users to access network resources from outside the network. Let's take a look at an example scenario where an administrator may need to set up remote access on an XG firewall. In this scenario, the administrator of a small organization has been asked to make it so that employees can access network resources from home securely in order to continue working after hours while having full access to anything that they require from within the company network. Let's have a look at how to do this on the XG firewall. Let's start off by logging into the XG firewall. Next, we'll navigate to Authentication and Groups, and we'll create a group for remote SSL VPN users. We'll specify a group name, we'll set a surfing quota for this group, and we'll allow access all the time. In this case, we'll leave everything else set to default. Next, we'll go ahead and click Save. Now we'll go ahead and create a user to add to this group that we've just created. Navigate to Authentication and Users. We'll click Add to start creating our new user. Let's set the username to john.smith. We'll set John Smith as the user's name. We'll type in a password, enter in the user's email address, and we'll add the user to the newly created remote group called Remote SSL VPN Group. Once we're satisfied with our user configuration, we'll go ahead and click Save. Now that we've created our user and our group, the next thing we'll do is define a local subnet and a remote SSL VPN range for our setup. Navigate to Hosts and Services and then IP host. Go ahead and click Add to define a subnet. We'll call this Local Subnet. Then we'll go ahead and set the type to network. And then we'll enter the IP address and subnet to specify the IP range assigned to this subnet. Once we're satisfied with our configuration, we'll go ahead and click Save. Now we'll go ahead and click Add again and create a remote SSL VPN range. We'll call this Remote SSL VPN range. Select Network and specify an IP address and subnet mask to identify the IP range assigned to this network. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and click Save. Next, we'll need to create our VPN by navigating to VPN and SSL VPN Remote Access. Here we'll go ahead and click Add. We'll go ahead and specify a VPN name. We'll add our newly created group to the Policy Members section, and we'll add Local Subnet to the Permitted Network Resources section under IPv4. And then we'll click Apply to finish creating this policy. Next, we're going to need to set up authentication for this new VPN. We'll start off by navigating to Authentication and Services. Here we'll make sure that Local Authentication Server is selected under SSL VPN authentication methods. Next, we'll select Administration and navigate to Device Access. Here we'll allow SSL VPN for WAN and LAN zones under Local Service ACL section. Add other zones as required. Now let's take a look at the VPN advanced settings. And to do this, we'll navigate to VPN and we'll select Show VPN Settings in the top right corner. Here, under the SSL VPN tab, we'll verify the IPv4 lease range that we configured earlier, and we'll set the rest of our options as required. Lastly, we're going to need to create a firewall rule to allow access to and from the VPN. Let's go ahead and navigate to Firewall on the menu. We'll go ahead and select Add Rule in the top right corner, and then we'll select User or Network Rule. We'll call the rule Remote SSL VPN Access. We'll select VPN as a source zone, We'll select Remote SSL VPN range as the source networks and devices. And under Destination Zone, we'll select LAN, and under Destination Networks, we'll select Local Subnet. Leaving the Match Known Users option selected, we'll specify SSL VPN group under User or Groups. After specifying any desired security settings, we'll go ahead and click Save. In this demonstration, we created a new group, we created a new user, we added the user to the group, we created a local subnet and a remote SSL VPN range as IP hosts, we created a VPN, we verified advanced VPN settings, we verified authentication service, and lastly, we created a firewall rule to allow traffic from the new VPN.